He was the answer the world wasn't ready for. They called him a monster because they couldn't break him. Because when they tried to crush his soul, he didn't bleed. He built a kingdom out of the ashes instead. He was human once, until the world broke him into pieces sharp enough to cut through steel. They pushed him to the edge, then dared him to fall.
I remember the silence before it all began, that fragile, trembling calm before the storm that would split my soul in two. They looked at me and saw something harmless, something breakable. They saw a body, not a being, a name, not a storm. They never saw it coming. I was the shadow behind my own smile, the echo that no one listened to, the wound that never closed. I learned early that the world doesn't hand out mercy. It manufactures monsters. And when they tried to shape me into something small, something safe, they forgot that pressure doesn't just break. It creates diamonds. It forges blades. I was both. They spoke lies into my skin like tattoos. Words meant to cage me. Too emotional, too intense, too much. But the truth was, I wasn't too much. They were too little. They thought my silence was surrender. It wasn't. It was strategy. Every time they laughed, every time they turned their backs, I was sharpening myself against the stone of their doubt. And when the time came, I didn't just rise, I erupted. They never saw it coming. I learned its language. I learned how to breathe in its depths without choking on fear. The darkness didn't frighten me. It fed me. It whispered truths that the holy refused to speak. It showed me that even angels bleed when they fall far enough. And I did fall, all the way down. But I didn't stay there. I built a kingdom in the ruins. They say you lose yourself in the dark, but I found every missing piece of me there. I found the rage they tried to drown, the courage they tried to bury, the voice they tried to silence. And when I put it all back together, what stood before the mirror wasn't the same person. It was something else. Something they couldn't define, couldn't label, couldn't destroy. They never saw it coming. I used to think strength was about holding everything together. Now I know it's about letting it all fall apart and rising from the wreckage with fire in your hands. They mistook my calm for weakness, my patience for peace. But peace is a lie. Peace is the quiet breath before the roar. Peace is the pause between lightning and thunder. And I am both. I am the storm they pretended didn't exist. They built walls around me, but I learned how to walk through them. They threw stones, and I learned how to turn pain into armor. They called me cold, and I laughed, because only those who've been burned understand the beauty of ice. They called me heartless, not knowing that my heart still beats, but it no longer bleeds for them. They called me monster, and maybe I am. But what they don't understand is that monsters are just angels that ran out of tears. They never saw it coming. They thought I'd stay broken. They thought I'd stay small. But I was studying them. Every cruelty, every betrayal, every subtle dagger dressed as kindness. I collected them like scriptures. And when the time came, I used their own lessons against them. Their arrogance was my apprenticeship. Their rejection was my rebirth. I stayed quiet long enough. I let them think the silence was surrender. It wasn't. It was preparation. See, I was never gone. I was just gathering the shards of who I used to be. Gathering rage like a storm gathers pressure. They thought I disappeared. Number. I was becoming inevitable. I've tasted defeat. It's bitter, but I chewed it slowly, swallowed it whole, and made it part of me. I built a kingdom out of rock bottom, and now I'm ready to collect. I'm coming for everything they said I couldn't have. Every door slammed in my face. I'm ripping it off the hinges. Every fake smile, every cheap betrayal, every "you'll never make it." I kept it. I remembered, and I turned all of it into fuel. They created something they don't understand. A version of me with no doubts left. No breaks. No mercy. I used to wait for permission. I used to care if they liked me, feared me, accepted me. That version of me? Dead. Buried without a name. This one doesn't knock. This one takes. I don't want their approval. I want results. I want what's mine, what's owed, what I bled for, what I built in silence while they laughed at the sound of my breaking. I am not hungry. I am starvation. I am not angry. I am vengeance without a leash. I don't want a seat at their table. I want the floorboards ripped up and the table flipped over. I was made for this, and they knew it. They saw it in my eyes and tried to dim it with lies, tried to dull it with doubt. But all they did was sharpen me. They think I'm too intense, too focused, too much. Good, because I don't want to be palatable. I want to be unforgettable. I want them to feel me before I speak, to hear my name and lose sleep, to look over their shoulder and know I'm coming. Not tomorrow, not eventually, now. I was patient, too patient, but patience is over. Hope is dead. This is not optimism. This is execution. I've got nothing to prove anymore. I've got scars for evidence. Scars that scream louder than any apology ever could. Scars that were supposed to break me, but became my armor. I am not a victim. I am the aftermath. I don't need sympathy. I need space.
You're mine.
Because when I move like thunder. Unstoppable, unbothered, unrelenting. I didn't climb out of hell to ask for directions. I built the map, and now I'm coming. For the dreams they said were too big. For the moments they thought I'd never live to see. For the throne they guarded with fragile egos and plastic crowns. I'm not knocking anymore. I'm kicking the door down. Because when you've been through everything, you become capable of anything. Let them whisper. Let them pray I slow down. Let them throw stones. They don't know I build castles with chaos. I don't lose. I adapt. I don't cry. I convert pain into precision. They had their time, their season, their games. Now it's my era. I'm not here to compete. I'm here to dominate, to take what they hoarded, to claim what they guarded, to snatch it from their trembling hands and remind them why I was never one of them. I'm not just coming for success. I'm coming for everything they said I couldn't be. Everything I lost. Everything I was denied. Everything they tried to bury. Under shame, under guilt, under manipulation. I dug it back up, cleaned it off, and now I wear it like a crown of ash and fire. Let them run, let them panic, let them pray, but nothing stops what's coming, because I am what's coming. I am not chasing. I am claiming. I am not hoping. I am taking. And I will not stop until every last piece of what they tried to steal is mine.